They're gonna have sex, they're gonna die.
I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of hard to find the exact right age.
They see it and you're like, you're dying.
Yeah, right. Wet dream party. Do they have that?
Hello. Hi, I'm Christina from the US.
Hi, I'm Cady from the UK. I feel like I've got like a little bit of trauma from sex education because my name is so uncommon. Like, I have never met somebody with my name. And the bloody girl in the sex education video, guess what her name was?
No, stop.
Yeah, it was
Really?
Cady, like the only other person I've ever seen with my name, and she's in the bloody sex education video. So can you imagine being a little kid and they're talking about like, you know, periods are not embarrassing, sex is not embarrassing, but as a child and your name is being used for it, I was like, I literally want to die. It was horrible. It was horrific.
Oh no, that's so sad.
So I think I remember quite a lot about it because I was traumatized.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's pretty good. The sex education, like we think of it as being really, really important because, you know, like young people are exposed to sex from a young age, from like media and just things going on out in the world. They're quite strict and serious on the education for us. Yeah, in the UK it's pretty well done, I guess.
I think the same in the US, it's also pretty important, but I think it's also taught differently depending where you're living in the US. Areas where it's a little bit more religious, maybe they wouldn't speak as much about it or maybe teach it in a different way. Maybe they'll be like, don't do it or wait until marriage.
Like on Mean Girls where he's like, basically tells them if they're gonna have sex, they're gonna die.
I know what you're talking about.
In the UK, I think it's like a government standard curriculum. That's the word, like a government standard curriculum.
So they all follow kind of like the same curriculum?
I think so. I think it's pretty similar. Like I think they have like quite a standard one that they give out. This is an interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what the differences are.
I know, I'm quite curious.
Yeah.
So this will be a really interesting topic.
Yeah.
So in England, we have like a relationship education first, which is when we're in primary school, I guess like the end of primary school. So we're going to be aged between 9 and 11, around those ages. And that's just to talk about, like, we go into like biology a little bit more, you know, talking about like our body parts. And I guess they start to talk about periods too, because girls are going to start having the periods around that time. So they go into like slightly more detailed biology and just talking a little bit about relationships, because of course like we're going to have our transition into secondary school where we become like young adults. So we kind of need to know about that as we're getting older. So it's kind of like an introduction to sex education. And then we officially start talking about like the sex side of it and like the genitals and things when we are age like 13, I guess. So as we become a teenager, then they'll start to teach us about it. It's just like a preemptive measure so we know the information.
I do remember as well, we watched a video about getting your period. Also maybe like 4th, 5th grade. Yeah, maybe like around 9, 10.
Yeah.
Around that time as well. It was like more of an introduction, you know, to sex education. They weren't like full blown talking about stuff, you know.
Yeah, same. Like they were not being like, you know, this is what mummies and daddies are doing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it was about that time where they had to introduce periods because I remember we watched a video.
Yeah.
And then my mom, you know, we had the talk after, you know, it's like, I think they tell the parents and then they're like, okay, we're, you know,
better talk about this then. Ooh, of course, like, you know, we have all the boys and the girls in the class, so they want to show everybody about what can happen so that us girls can understand what happens to the boys and the boys can understand what can happen to the girls. We all had to do that together. When we got to secondary school, we were becoming young women. They had a separate class then about, you know, what happens with women and more detail into the periods and talking about all kinds of things for just women. I know that when we were younger, they did it together where they told us about wet dreams. And I guess that is maybe because like if we have sleepovers with friends or your brothers and things like that, then you know what that is.
Oh, it's true.
And then the boys know about periods then, so that they can't like make it like it's something gross. They know this is a natural thing.
Or like they see it and you're like, you're dying.
Yeah, right. What is happening?
I'm pretty sure they separated when I was in school, they separated the boys and girls. I'm sure it's different now.
Yeah.
The girls, we learned about periods, just the girls in our class. We didn't do it together, even though I'm sure that could have been maybe helpful for both sides. It's better.
It feels like more of a natural thing, because I guess like if you learn about it in advance, then when it comes to ever witnessing that or being around that, then it's not as surprising. You know, kids get surprised really easily, so like we were saying, if they suddenly see a girl who's got like a period blood mark and a boy has never heard about period before, or a person has never heard about period before, then they might be really shocked to suddenly see
You're
blood.
dying. What's happening?
Yeah. No, we definitely don't do that. I think if my parents threw me a party for like getting my first period, I would be mortified. I would never forget that in a bad way. Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually I totally forgot about this. Not everyone does it, but I think it is kind of like some people can do it. But yeah, it's really weird.
It feels like a bit much.
I mean, I didn't have one, thankfully.
I don't want to cause offence, so I'm like, I shouldn't really say it's strange, but it's just like such an unusual thing for me. Like, do they have a same thing for guys who have their first wet dream party? Do they have that? No.
Of course.
I think I can kind of understand the concept behind it. Like, I think in the parents' minds, they want to make the child feel more comfortable. Like, this is a normal thing. This is like a thing to be kind of celebrated. I don't know. I guess they want them to feel like comfortable and happy about it, to be like, oh, you're stepping into womanhood. But then now it's kind of outdated, because you don't have to have a period to be a woman. So in modern day, I'm going to say it's like quite peculiar, but it's not very gender accepting and gender neutral. So I guess we wouldn't really think about doing that now in like modern day. Big no.
No. No. I mean, like, definitely not.
It's quite a lot. It's quite overwhelming. If they get a period or have a wet dream, like, yeah, they can come and tell me, but I don't want to have like a big party and bring everybody. Like, they want to deal with their own things and do their own things. So I think that that's just like their thing. I think they taught us about that in high school, early to mid-teens. They explained to us, like, I guess not in great detail, but we had like a fair amount of time to learn about menopause. Obviously, because like eventually we're going to see it happening to our mums and our grandparents, and as women eventually it's going to happen to us too. How about you? Did they teach you guys about?
I don't think they got too much in detail about it.
I mean, I guess like we're officially educated about it maybe at the end of primary school or start of high school, 11 to 13 or 14. I guess at the very early stages they wouldn't go into great detail, like they wouldn't tell us exactly how it happens, but they tell us that that's for like making babies, or like that's what parents do. And then as you get older, then as the years go on in high school, they'll explain more about what actually happens. I was exposed like really young.
Early. Yeah, me too. It was really early, you know. I would hear it from my friends and they would talk about it. Their older sister or something, you know, like I would hear it from other people, but like I didn't understand it much, you know?
Don't really know exactly what it is, but
I knew it way before I was educated about it in school. And I think it was also around the same age. Yeah, around like 13 where they got more into it.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to find the exact right age, because I think that so many young children are like exposed to it way too early. I think the age that they taught us was good, maybe even a little bit earlier could have been better, just to say, you know, this is not going to be good, kind of explain what it is a little bit and that it is for grown-ups, so that people aren't getting stuck in bad situations or getting confused. I think it's good to be educated early.
I think especially nowadays, it's a little bit different. You just go on anything. I mean, there's kids using like TikTok and like, I don't know, and then you can easily go on certain websites. Kids are doing this now. Like, so I think they're getting exposed, and that's how they learn about it. And they can maybe have some issues growing up, that they should be exposed, like learning about it maybe earlier than
before.
Yeah, than before.
I think I knew about that like since as long as I can remember. Both meanings of gay, obviously like way back when, it had a different meaning. Like we didn't call homosexual people gay, or I guess we did, but gay had like the meaning of like really happy and I feel pretty and witty and gay.
I feel pretty and so yeah.
That's the one I think of as soon as I hear the word gay. I think that, well, obviously not now, I think of Lady Gaga, but before, if you're thinking about joyful gay, then yeah, I would think of that song. There's some like older English people who use gay as to be like happy, joyful, and about homosexual people, I guess, yeah, I knew a long time ago. Maybe I didn't fully understand as a kid, but we still saw a lot, and we get educated about it as well, I believe. I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I was educated in school about it. I was exposed to, you know, a lot of my friends like growing at a very young age too, so I knew a lot about it. It's kind of interesting talking about both of our experiences. I feel like it's somewhat similar.
Yeah.
But also maybe like a little difference.
Yeah, I guess like as it goes on, like the sex education's got to change so much. So it was really interesting to talk about it and see how different it is in the US and UK, and actually see how similar it was.
Yeah.
But I guess now it's probably totally different. I think they're more open about it as well, because I feel like a lot more people can be more comfortable now with like their sexuality and who they are. I think that the UK are trying to be a lot more like considerate and open now, and be available to educate about all genders and all sexualities, which is very good. So today we learned about sex education differences in the US and the UK.
So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.